Alright, I'm gonna be reacting to Florida Cops Don't Give a Fuck from DecoyVoice.
What happens when theater kids grow up to become useless adults? Their unemployed behavior becomes a plague on us all. As outside Florida's alligator Alcatraz, they thought song would stop federal law.
I'm fighting for immigrants and families that deserve to be safe. No one deserves to not come home from a damn work.
Why are you being arrested?
I'm being arrested for peacefully protesting the horrible treatment of human beings by ICE agents.
It's called obstruction of justice.
These people are being treated horribly. They're human beings, and it's not.
Now that Dade County Sheriff was arresting them for obstruction, which in this scenario only has a 1-year maximum penalty. But we're all hoping they continue their I am not afraid chants all the way to county jail, as a judge should throw the book at them just for their stupidity alone, as there's a 0% chance DHS would hear these chants, rethink their lives, and suddenly stop enforcing the law. But what's worse than when these EBT tribes try this? When a church in Charlotte thought the same, turning a gospel song into anti-ICE activism. Then going into combat training.
This was an event at a church there on Monday night. People acted out immigration detainments, and the rest of the room practiced filming them and making noise to call attention to them.
Imagine going to church to learn about Jesus, only to spend your time learning to fight ICE in the unlikely event the agents are frail old men afraid of blue vests. As unfortunately for them, the feds were somehow not deterred by the church's training. As all across the country, the left seems to have unlimited free time to collectively accomplish nothing, as these are likely those same climate activists finding a brand new grift after they finally started handing out hefty prison sentences to them, as their story arc heads in the same direction, where a main source of contention is the massive ICE activity outside Home Depots.
It all happened outside the Carecen Day Labor Center next to the Home Depot. Within seconds, they launch gas canisters. One person tries to run and is chased by an officer. He falls down, gets up, and still tries to run.
Mira la migración, les dije.
This man says he saw the agents and screamed out, ICE is here.
He called me and he said that he was at Home Depot and that there was guys with guns in the parking lot. And he's like, I think it's ICE. And I was like, are you sure? And then his line went dead. I live nearby, so I rushed over here.
I'm sure she was certain it was ICE, otherwise she wouldn't be rushing over to a place that had guys with guns in the parking lot. But she simultaneously needs to fearmonger over unknown masked men in Home Depot while being completely confident that they were law enforcement.
I pull up to him running across the parking lot. People.
Just to be clear, he's giving credibility to they could be just anyone, and it says federal agents conduct immigration raid. So it's already known openly that they're there to do a raid. His EBT tribe thing was just a clear racial hate crime in my opinion. Because he just threw that out there. It's just clearly a reference to minorities and poor people and people sympathetic to social programs, which again is just another attack on the people that are at the lowest areas of society. This clearly is a privileged man and a privileged opinion, and is clearly one of sour or wants to show that he is more machismo than most people, which unfortunately is showing through his insecurities and insults that he's doing through his aggression and his passive-aggressive comments in order to establish himself as more intelligent when he's not. So far, he has zero opinion on it so far, other than get out the way, annoying, and that nothing you're doing is working, which ironically enough, if what they actually did work, he would then be complaining about them effectively changing things for the better. So either way, he's just upset that leftists as a whole are getting active and are pushing for more things to get active about, which is why again he's covering it, and he is in fact talking about it because it's a system of which it did work because he's talking about it, and that's what his point is. It gets attention, it gets people to pay attention.
Tackling him. And one guy got in my face with mace and was like, I'm gonna mace you back up. I was like, why are you gonna mace me? And then I go around to try and record what they're doing to him, and one guy gets right in front of me and trying to block me and starts pushing me. I said, don't touch me.
Why were they going to mace me as I continue to do the only action that could get me maced? Where it seems their only objective is victimhood. again accomplishing nothing. The funniest aspect about this, specifically, is Home Depot has to have the largest concentration of blue-collar workers intolerant of unemployed nonsense, as originally, they tried to get their workers to join their side.
You don't want to look at it? You don't want to hear it? We're customers.
You can send it to our media relations.
Then marched in boycott of ICE, waving all the flags of the countries they demand they not be sent to.
Boycott! Boycott! Boycott!
You simply can't take them seriously when they continuously represent all the countries that violently enforce their border laws while demanding the US doesn't, as for some reason, we need to feed them, because the labor unions will somehow stop federal law enforcement. This only sounds stupid because it is stupid. But if they're going to blame the hardware store for border enforcement, of course their stupidity would also have no borders, as obviously ICE kept making arrests outside Home Depot, so they took their protests inside the stores.
ICE! Out of Home Depot! ICE! ICE! Out of Home Depot! ICE! ICE! Out of Home Depot! Home Depot, shame on you! Home Depot, shame on you!
Even wasting their workers' time by continuously buying ice scrapers and returning them on repeat, despite the fact that those aren't ice scrapers but putty knives. Of course, these idiots aren't going to know that, as I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first time most of them have ever stepped foot inside a hardware store. But they're apparently protesting Home Depot allegedly having a $250 million contract with ICE to stake out their parking lots, to which on Threads, Home Depot had to officially deny. And even the DHS had to clarify they don't need private businesses' permission to enforce federal laws. But don't let silly things like facts stop the unemployed hordes from marching in Home Depot to waste some poor hourly worker's shift, buying and returning the same item over and over because
You can't waste an hourly worker's shift. They're paid hourly, which means they're getting paid regardless. Second of all, calling them unemployed is funny because a lot of these people probably make a lot more than the average person. They look pretty white and not, ethnic, which is probably what he's aiming at. Trying to hint at these people are EBT tribes and people of color is usually what he hints at without saying it. A lot of the times it's a tactic a lot of people in the upper suburbs or rich areas use to say lazy people, leeches, EBT, welfare queen, things like that are used to put down people of color, people that don't usually have as much as the other people, and set a system of like classist pride that they're above the other people and therefore they don't partake in these social benefits, that they're better than the other people, which is a class division tactic designed specifically to make sure people feel like they're ashamed of getting the government needs that they want, which causes them to feel embarrassed. So
social media weaponize their shoe-sized IQs. And it's a common occurrence as they protest outside hotels if they think ICE agents are inside.
What are you, an ICE agent?
ICE, there's no sleep for the wicked. You make these cries, you dare.
Only for this instance to be a blue-collar union.
What are you doing here? Are you staying in a hotel? That's good. Are you
No.
ICE?
We're union pipe fitters. All of us are union pipe fitters and
That's
plumbers.
very impressive. Why are you guys out here at 3 a.m.?
Well, because you guys woke us up.
It's such a hilarious cell phone for these idiots to see masculinity and automatically affiliate it with ICE agents, as if there would be no other reason for men to congregate unless they were the feds, again showing us they have no idea what employment looks like. But sadly, this has spread to the kids, as schools experience massive walkouts in protest of ICE.
Across the city, students have staged walkouts. School officials say that district-wide, more than 30,000 students, roughly 22%, were absent on Monday.
The only people that stayed back from the protest were white people. I literally looked at every single person in there. They were all white.
saying that only the white kids value education over skipping school for a protest that will accomplish nothing isn't quite the own she thinks it is. If only there was a place that could educate her other than this public school that is obviously failing, as these anti-ICE protests have been active for 5 months, and all they've accomplished is activating Operation Swamp Sweep over in Mississippi, North Carolina seeing Operation Charlotte's Web despite these student walkouts, as Operation Midway Blitz has been escalating their forces in Chicago, and as Operation Bear Cave goes underway in New York, clamping down on illegals with CDLs, New York City is about to get their own operation in the near future. It's not like any of these operations are secret, so leftists have to be at least acutely aware of how badly they're losing. And you would think they would want to change up their tactics, but that would require them to think. So if you appreciate my concise, light-hearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, subscribe to Decoy Voice.
Alright, so for the most part, this guy's virtue signaling hard as fuck toward his side. He's trying to push a lot more. This is justified and these people are unemployed, which is just a big meme. A lot of people who care about humanity and that human empathy for the deportations of people's family members is just a clear racist attack on people of color, Latinos mainly. And it is, in my opinion, a declaration of something more big, something more evil. That people are being judged by accent, skin color, or just facial features. That if they're Latino, they're going to be grabbed up. I believe this is, in fact, a huge racist attack on people all across America. The deportations of ICE need to stop. And I do believe that this is a huge wake-up call for a lot of people of color, that these ICE deportations are not only racist, but extremely evil in nature, because their entire ideology is just to judge people by their skin color, accent, and culture. And a lot of the times you can catch a lot of these ICE agents getting arrested by being drunk or very bad at their jobs, by doing rapes themselves, is because a lot of the time these people are getting caught doing the very things they're trying to destroy, because they need thugs or they need gangsters to pretty much enforce these laws. And these thugs and gangsters do anything they can to hurt people and attack people with the premise of brutality as their sword, rather than reform or helping people to get citizenship. And therefore their tactics are a lot more fascistic and a lot more racist toward a white dominant society. So personally, I believe this was gross coverage of what is truly a disgusting and sad event that's happening in the United States of America.